In the top stories, the health minister says no smoking laws need to be updated. The opposition leader expresses concern about the flow of guns into Barbados, and the central bank reports an overwhelming response to its savings bonds. Welcome to Nation News for Thursday, June 4th, 2015. I'm Natasha Beckles. Minister of Health John Boyce says the ban on smoking in public places needs to be tweaked and made tougher. Addressing a forum on non-communicable diseases on Thursday, he said even if a person steps outside a building to smoke in keeping with the law, they can still affect those on the inside.
It's not only the individual smoking, but it's the effect by indirect inhalation of tobacco fumes. So if you're going to step outside a building and smoke a cigarette, and that's legal, but the smoke is still drifting into the public space, well then obviously you're too close, and that's the point I'm making. So it has to be much more consideration.
The ban on smoking in public places came into effect in 2010. It applies to rum shops, bars, restaurants, hotels, and government buildings, as well as libraries and museums. Opposition leader Mia Mottley is calling for a national conversation about crime and a curbing of the flow of guns into Barbados. She said the prevalence of guns was influencing the violent way some Barbadians were dealing with conflict. Noting that crime is a complex issue for which there is no easy answer, the former Attorney General said the poor performance of the economy was also a factor. Ms. Motley was speaking to Nation News in Brooklyn, where she participated in a Barbados Labour Party-sponsored town hall meeting. Just 3 days after the central bank relaunched its savings bonds program with an issue worth $10 million, it is reporting that the series has sold out. Governor Dr. Delisle Worrell says the response from the public has been overwhelming and banks are requesting additional allotments. Another $10 million series will open on Monday, June 8th. A University of the West Indies academic says Caribbean countries are not paying enough attention to cybersecurity. Dr. Lloyd Waller, who heads MONA's Department of Government, says people in Barbados and the region are spending more and more time online, but there seems to be little preparation for cybercrime. Addressing a breakfast session at UWI Cave Hill on Thursday, he said only a few countries have legislation in place to deal with cyber criminals. Dr. Waller called for more discussion about online crime among citizens, governments, and civil society. Workers at the psychiatric hospital could soon be going on strike. Word of this comes from head of the Unity Workers Union, Caswell Franklin. He told Nation News staff were so upset with their working conditions that they would stop work on a soon-to-be-revealed date. Among their grievances are the physical conditions of the Blackrock St. Michael plant and the working hours of nursing staff. The news of a possible strike comes 2 weeks after officials of the National Union of Public Workers visited the hospital following complaints from staff. Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave has been continuing his tour of local primary schools. On Thursday, it was the turn of Wesley Hall Junior School. Sir Elliot hailed past headmasters of the school for their efforts, which produced 3 of the island's national heroes: Errol Barrow, Sir Hugh Springer, and Sir Frank Walcott. As usual, Sir Elliot was treated to a talent showcase by the students. In sport, Australia were bowled out for 318 on the second day of the first test against West Indies. This gave them a lead of 170 in reply to West Indies' 148 all-out. Leg spinner Devendra Bishu was the pick of the West Indies bowlers with a career best 6 for 75. At news time, West Indies were in a bit of trouble, having lost both openers, but you can look for a full report of the day's play on our website. And finally, 2 Serbian schoolboys have been accused of storming into a Belgrade classroom masked and armed with a plastic pistol and making off with their teacher's grade book. A police officer said it appears they stole the book for a third boy who had poor grades. The pair were charged with violent behavior, jeopardizing public safety, and destruction and damage of property. And that's Nation News for Thursday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Weekend Nation on Friday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thank you so much for joining us.